Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. We're here for August the 27th. We got a lot of action for you here on this Friday. We got a lot of soccer to get into before everybody goes on international break. We got a little WNBA action, the last action of the preseason this weekend before we get into some real games. And then, of course, some Major League Baseball to get into. So let's start out with some Major League Baseball. Let's start out with the Cincinnati Reds minus 145 versus the Florida Marlins, or the Miami Marlins for that matter. Really like this matchup for Cincinnati at minus 145. Marlins coming off a 2-game winning streak versus Washington. Cincinnati finally got one over Milwaukee in that last game of the season. They got Wade Miley on the hill for the Cincinnati Reds, who's pitched really, really well this year with a 2.88 ERA. Should be able to go in there and shut down the highly talented Zach Thompson. I look for the Reds to keep themselves in this wild card hunt really well in this game, so I really like that value of minus 145 on the Cincinnati Reds today. Next up, Tampa Bay Rays minus 225 versus the Baltimore Orioles. I'm going to ride these next two pretty cheapy, big prices, but I think pretty easy wins. Tampa Bay Rays going in versus these Baltimore Orioles. I don't need to say much more than that. Baltimore's coming off a 2-game winning streak. I feel like that means the Tampa Bay Rays are going to end that 2-game winning streak with the Baltimore Orioles. So let's take Tampa and ride the big heavy price tag and see what we can do. And then next we're going to take the other one with a big heavy price tag, the Philadelphia Phillies minus 250 versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Aaron Nola on the hill. He's not pitched great this year, but this is the type of team Aaron Nola dominates, bad ones. So Aaron Nola should be fine. The Diamondbacks coming off back-to-back wins, one over Philly yesterday, one over the Pirates on the road. They have had a much better August than they had the preceding seasons. Philly really been in the tank lately, but I look for him to get this one and get this one back with Aaron Nola on the hill. So don't be scared of that big price. Take those two big prices in Philadelphia and Tampa Bay and throw in the Cincinnati Reds for it. All right, two preseason games to get into. We're going to take the Kansas City Chiefs minus 105 for the race to 20 points versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Chiefs have been playing a handful of their starters in these games. I don't know how much Minnesota really is going to take this game serious, and I just think the Chiefs can get to 20 before them. Pretty good price at 105, considering the race to 10 is minus 160. Not much backup quarterback play for the Minnesota Vikings. So let's see if the Kansas City Chiefs can get to 20 points first and take that minus 105. And then lastly, we're going to take the Philadelphia Eagles plus 5.5. Last week, they were giving the Jets a bunch of points, and they got a last-second drive to go in there and cover that. And I feel like this game's going to play out pretty much the same way. I think this is a handful of too many points here for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think this game will be probably gross and close. So close and close probably sums up both these two teams in a nutshell, but Philadelphia Eagles plus 5.5 in the preseason. Next up, we're going to go back on the board and take the New York Liberty at plus 7 over the Phoenix Mercury. If plus 5.5 wasn't good enough on Wednesday, plus 7 is good enough for us again today. So they're playing each other back to back. I really think that's difficult. I thought New York Liberty was going to be good enough to cover that 5. So we're just going to double down on it and take it again here at 7.5 for the New York Liberty as they play back-to-back. So New York Liberty plus 7.5. Let's see if they can keep this game a little bit closer than they did before, or at least play a little bit of defense. All right, going to get into the soccer. We got the soccer today, and we got the soccer in the morning tomorrow up until about the 12 o'clock games, and then we'll have the 12 o'clock games and the early Sunday games on tomorrow's show for Winning Daily. But today we're going to do this afternoon's games for you all in the States, and in Europe, the night games, and then the afternoon games for you all in Europe, the morning games for us here in the States. So let's start in the Premier League. We're going to start out with West Ham United minus 175 over Crystal Palace. Can't say enough about this West Ham United team. A little bit of a tough one here, coming off the short week, playing on Monday, then playing again on Saturday. But I just really think Crystal Palace is bad. West Ham United's been really, really impressive to start the season. Was impressive all of last season and was impressive when they went into lockdown and restarted the season 2 years ago. So it's been almost a full 2 years that West Ham has played really, really good football, and I think they will continue that. So West Ham really on a hot streak here. Let's look for that continue at home. The crowd's going to be pumped up with the way West Ham's playing, top of the league table right now. Let's see if they can keep it there, especially with Chelsea and Liverpool right below them playing later in the day. So West Ham United versus poor Crystal Palace team. These two played in January of last year. West Ham won 3-2 in Crystal Palace. So look for West Ham to get the win here. Next up, we're going to go with Newcastle United minus 125 versus Southampton. We're going to protect ourselves a little bit here with a draw no bet with the way Newcastle's sort of kicked out of the gates. Played that aforementioned West Ham team, lost 4-2. They did start the game really well, but couldn't close. Looked awful versus Villa over the weekend, and then had a really, really bad Carabao Cup game with Burnley at 0-0. So that was just poor, but they didn't play a ton of their people there. So I look for them to get on the board this week versus Southampton, who's coming off a nice draw versus Manchester United, and then a thrashing of Newport County, but in the Carabao Cup. But we won't count that one. Southampton's played pretty well for what I thought would be a team that would be battling relegation this year. They lost a lot of people, but Che Adams and company really have played really well. But I think this is a little bit much to ask to go into Newcastle and then win that one. So we're going to go Newcastle United minus 125 with a draw, no bet. And lastly, we're going to go with Brighton, Everton, under 2.5 goals. And if you've all watched these guys play recently, you would know why I'm taking this. They just came off a 0-0 draw in April. Everton had a 1-0 win in January of 2020, and Brighton had a 1-0 win in December of 2018. So I feel like with these two managers, they'll play it pretty close to the vest. Everton started out so-so in the Premier League, had a really fun, entertaining game at Leeds. But they're going back-to-back Premier League games on the road, so I think they'll struggle there. And then Brighton, been off to a really hot start. Good wins over Watford and Burnley to start the season. Had a nice win versus Cardiff City in the Carabao Cup. So Brighton's flying high, but I looked at this to be a low-scoring 1-1, 1-0, 2-0 type of affair here. So I'm going to ride this under and take Brighton Everton under 2.5 goals here at minus 150. All right, let's move to Serie A. Let's get into the game today. Udinese, minus 135 versus Venezia. Really like the way Udinese has started the season so far. Come off that nice comeback draw over Juventus. A big win in the Coppa Italia's over Ascoli. So Udinese has started the season a nice, tidy start to the year. I think at home, they really will be able to handle Venezia, who is really just starting their track into Serie A. They were in Serie B last year, so just think they will struggle a little bit. You saw that they got the win, but it was a 1-1 tie versus Frosinone in the Coppa Italia to start the thing. Frosinone is not a great team, and then they played Napoli to start the year, and they went into there and lost 2-0. So 2 straight road games to start out Serie A. Think this will be a difficult task for them to go in there and win. Look for Udinese to put this one away pretty easy. Hard to get a read on the head-to-heads since they haven't really played since Venezia's been in Serie B. So no real head-to-head to speak of there, but we're going to go with Udinese minus 135 on the 3-way there. And then Verona and Inter Milan. We don't have a bet on this, but Lautaro Martinez is returning, and we think he's going to get a goal today. Tiny little plus 140 on the goal for Lautaro Martinez. So look for Martinez, who should be in the starting lineup after missing last week, to get a goal versus Verona in this game. All right, let's move to La Liga, and we're going to ride Celta Vigo plus 145 over Athletic Club Bilbao. Celta Vigo been really, really sort of hot and cold to start the year. Tough to open versus Atletico Madrid, but then they went to Osasuna, somehow managed to draw out of that. So back home here versus Athletic Bilbao, who's definitely a much, much tougher team at their home palace. You saw that last week versus Barcelona. They probably should have won that game, but we'll go with Celta Vigo to pull out a win here. I think they're going to start rounding into form. We'll probably find some goals. I know the defensive side of things will be pretty good for Celta Vigo. So let's ride Celta Vigo plus 145 on the three-way here. That's all we got on La Liga. Let's move to Liga. One game we're going to go with here, Nice versus Bordeaux. We're going to take Bordeaux plus 260 with a draw, no bet here. Really interesting series here. Both these teams are sort of middle table to lower in Liga, but just Bordeaux's style of play, it pretty much sums it up how they've sort of started the year. They had a 0-2 loss to Clermont Foot to kick off the season, but then they did their thing. They went into Marseille, got a 2-2 draw there. Then Angers came to Bordeaux, got a 1-1 there. Nice, on the other hand, don't know what you're getting. Played Lille, managed to kill them 4-0, but that was coming off a really, really poor draw at home versus Stade de Reims. And so interesting way Nice does. And overall, if you look at the head-to-head matchup here, it's a lot of 0-0, 1-1 sort of draws here. Nice did get them in January, but that was a very, very struggling Bordeaux team at the time. I look overall in the series in the last couple years, 0-0, 1-1, 1-1, 1-0. So I think the value's there for Bordeaux to maybe steal this and protect yourself with that draw no bet, and you're getting a nice price with plus 260 if Bordeaux can find a way to get a win here. And two more left in the Bundesliga. We'll start out with Dortmund plus 125 versus Hoffenheim, both teams to score. This series has been really a fun one to watch. These two teams play entertaining, high-flying soccer. Dortmund coming off two bad losses, really bad loss at Freiburg last week. Hoffenheim, tough little draw there versus Union Berlin at home. Probably should have stole that one 2-2. And then a nice win, though, coming into Augsburg and winning that one 4-0. So Hoffenheim's been pretty good. Dortmund started the season with a nice 5-2 win versus Frankfurt, but hasn't been able to really do anything. And if you look at these two teams to start the year, 2-1, 1-3, 5-2, you got 2-2, 0-4, 2-3. So they're scoring goals, and both teams are a little shady on the defensive end of things. Dortmund and Hoffenheim last played in February. It was 2-2. Dortmund had a 1-0 win in versus at Hoffenheim in October. And then Hoffenheim had a 4-0 win in January of 2020, a 3-3 versus Dortmund in February of 2019, and Hoffenheim had a 2-1. So these two play usually pretty entertaining and high-scoring games. I look for that to continue, but I look for Dortmund to bounce back here. So at home with that yellow wall, I think Dortmund gets a nice win here. Both teams to score plus 125. And then we're going to take Erling Haaland. 2+ goals is plus 200. I think Erling has a big day here in this matchup. When they played in February of last year, Erling got one. So he is capable of scoring versus Hoffenheim. So I think he'll be able to get two here. I'm expecting a big day for Dortmund here. But should be an entertaining game. If you're watching one this afternoon, probably Borussia Dortmund, Hoffenheim, so one to tune in for. All right, that's our show. Those are our picks on the day. Be sure to follow and subscribe on YouTube. We got a whole lot of college football to get into tomorrow. Week 0 kicks it off. We're going to bring in 2 guest pickers. Dynamite David's going to come in and make his picks for the day. And we got a new picker. Our man Sparky is coming on to give us his picks of week 0. So be sure to tune into that. You don't want to miss Winning Daily tomorrow. You don't want to miss our college football preview. We just dropped the Big Ten and the ACC. We also got our NFL preview of the AFC and NFC South dropping later today. So a whole lot of football action to get into over the next 2 days. You don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss Winning Daily. The best way to do that, like, subscribe. That's our show, and we're out.